Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Tejaswini Pagadala, and in today's episode, let's try and explore what the TVK party's win means for Tamil Nadu, the Gen Z's involvement, and what the future holds for the state. The TVK party won 108 seats of the 234 constituencies, beating heavyweights like AIADMK and DMK that have been in the political space for a really long time. And these veterans were beaten not just by a party that made its electoral debut, but also a party founded just 2 years ago in 2024. For TVK, which was founded in 2024, this win is not just a steep electoral climb, but it is also indicative of what the youngsters of today need in the country's political system. An interesting trend that we have seen this time in the Tamil Nadu 2026 election is the voter turnout. Approximately 80 to 85% turnout of voters happened statewide, and that was 11 to 12 percentage point jump from the 2021 assembly election, with women voters slightly outnumbering men. Now, Chennai alone, which is an urban voter constituency, moved from under 60% turnout in 2021 to 84%, signaling a dramatic surge in urban participation. Now, normally in India, we see that urban constituencies and urban participation in voting is drastically less. So, Chennai's indication and Chennai's growth in vote percentage is also indicative and maybe contributed to TVK's win. So let's try and understand what specifically worked for Vijay and the TVK party. Of course, TVK's asset Vijay's popularity for almost 2 decades in the movie industry helped the party convert their fans into vote base. Not just that, but Vijay's promise of clean governance, change, and dignity also attracted young voters. And this was in contrast with the cynical transactional Dravidian politics that Tamil Nadu has seen for many decades until now. There were also huge number of Gen Z voters who framed their choice as a protest against the system by choosing TVK rather than simply making a switch between two legacy parties, which is the AIADMK and the DMK. Vijay's image as the outsider with Tamil culture worked very well with the youth. Not just that, but his positioning made it easier for Gen Z voters to frame their choice as a protest against the system rather than simply a switch between the two legacy parties. In fact, TVK party's surveys also indicated that the Gen Z voters are tired of the same parties, same promises, in fact with no change, and they are willing to explore alternatives that they felt were meritocratic and honest. The issues that TVK picked on and both the legacy parties of Tamil Nadu neglected were unemployment, the loans burden in education, economic disparity, anti-corruption, and these were the themes that resonated with young adults of Tamil Nadu. Now, what was very interesting about TVK's campaign is that they went digital first, meaning they understood that their voters were on social media. For example, they started their campaign on Instagram and YouTube, which is very different from how other political parties start, which is basically on ground. So, TVK's campaign started with social media through influencers, through memes, through influencer content, and this they knew very well was how the Gen Z consume news and politics. So that's their target, and that's how they were able to gain a lot of traction through this kind of content on social media. And hence, TVK's social media led outreach spoke the cultural language of digital native youth in a way that more traditional parties struggle to match. Let's try and look at how TVK stood out even in candidate selection. Now, TVK party fielded a lot of fresh faces and also more women candidates. So this helped in claiming and reinforcing the message that the party was clean, non-corrupt and accessible, in contrast with the image of entrenched local strongmen who are attached to legacy parties and actually do not give any access to common people. Now, the Gen Z bloc overlaps significantly with the first time voter and young urban graduate segments that TVK targeted in its campaign rhetoric and imagery. A bulk of TVK voters as the first time voters, Gen Z, and unemployed youth. Now, with TVK's own support base, 68% of its voters were reportedly in the 18 to 19 age band. These data points indicate that TVK's support is heavily skewed towards young voters, while the older voters remained with the legacy Dravidian parties. Now, is this phenomena unique to Tamil Nadu, where film stars enter politics? Well, we've seen MGR, we've seen Jayalalitha, and now Vijay. And in Andhra Pradesh, we have seen NTR, then Chiranjeevi, and then Janasena now with Pawan Kalyan entering politics. But imagining someone like Vijay winning an election in states with weak cinema cultures is not possible. And hence, let's try and look at the broader Indian and global parallels. Across India, youth voters have shown openness to new formations promising clean governance and development. For example, AAP in Delhi, Janasena in Andhra Pradesh, now TVK in Tamil Nadu. What is relatively distinct in Tamil Nadu this time is a combination of very high baseline of welfare politics, entrenched but aging party leaderships, and availability of a pan-Tamil, non-BJP, non-Congress, non-traditional Dravidian vehicle. What the 2026 Tamil Nadu election experience indicates is that the Gen Z voters are a crucial group of voters who cannot be ignored anymore. And they are someone which political parties need to align their strategies, their election messaging, their values, try and understand their media habits, and also be digitally active if they really want to understand and attract this group of voters, which are going to be very crucial in deciding the coming years of voting outcomes. So, what do you think about the Gen Z voters? Share your opinion in the comments below.